Hi, my name is Emma Paulson, and on January 17th of 2012, I was diagnosed with leukemia. Previously, I was very healthy. I never missed a day of school. I never had fevers, but I was becoming very sick very quickly, and I knew something was wrong. I was at school. By the time I walked up the top of the stairs, I would be very dizzy. I'd have to stop and catch my breath. I was very fatigued. I'd hardly be able to stay awake during the school day. And starting on Christmas, my face became very pale and very white and ghostly. And I remember my mom and I were putting our hands together, and we just knew that there was something wrong. So on the morning of January 17th, there was a very bad snowstorm, and my dad drove us to school. And by the time I got to school, my dad was like, "Can you stay?" And I said, "There's no way I can stay." So we went to the pediatrician's office, and they took a blood draw. And walking back from the blood draw, I remember I put my head on my dad's shoulder in the waiting room, and that's all I remember. And I ended up passing out for 10 minutes. And by then, when the pediatrician came in, she came into the room, and I just remember she came in with tears in her eyes. And this was just as I was waking up, and she said, "We think you have leukemia. We're going to send you over to Children's Hospital." So we went over to Children's Hospital, and they took some more tests, and they confirmed that I had acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is a very common childhood cancer. And within the first 24 hours after being diagnosed, I had 24-hour blood and platelet transfusions. I had a surgery to implant a PICC line where they administered my first chemo. I had a spinal tap and an echocardiogram and a bone marrow aspirate, all within the first 24 hours after I heard that I had cancer. I was very scared. I had no idea. I'd never heard of any child with cancer before. I had no idea what this was going to be like, or that 2 years later I would still be getting chemotherapy every day. It was all very scary and new, and I had no idea anything that I would have encountered with the 2.5 years of my treatment. But fortunately, my support system was great. All my friends and family came the first 10 days in the hospital. I had friends and family there every single day. They would come, and they'd bring me food, they'd bring me games and movies and just things to take my mind off of all the sick and pain that I was going through, and to kind of bring some happy back into my life. I wasn't able to go to school from January when I was diagnosed until the rest of the school year, so I was at home. And my friends didn't forget about me. They came all the time. They brought cards from school. The teachers made signs and cards, and I had a lot of support. And I was really grateful for all of this. And still, even 2 years later, they keep supporting me, and they come to all my events and everything. And I've just been so grateful and so blessed.
MyTruthin365 is a project like no other. Using a video journaling concept that is raw and unscripted, we explore pediatric cancer stories as told by those on the front lines of the war on childhood cancer, such as mothers, fathers, survivors, siblings, grandparents, doctors, nurses, and advocates, and how their lives have been impacted. These are their stories in their words. Developed over a series, Part 1 explores the impacts of receiving the cancer diagnosis. Visit us on Facebook at MyTruthin365 to find out more about this project.